Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show. Hello, everybody. This is Steve Akeley, and this is, as promised, a bonus show about Danny Kinnaird. We had planned to take the tribute through Sunday, but then Becca remembered the texting show, which was truly a classic. This should have been involved in what we were doing since the beginning. Kind of forgot about it, but as we brought it up, we're like, we got to get this one in there. So here it is. The famous show where we run through Danny's drunken text, something that he quit doing after we did the show, by the way. He'd always send me these crazy texts late at night. And after the show aired, I noticed that he'd quit doing that, which is unfortunate because I really did enjoy them. But here we analyze them, we break them down, we talk about them. And of course, it is the birth of Freddie Mills. Check it out.
Let's drink! Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we attempt to decipher some of the drunken texts Steve's friend Danny sends him. My name is Miss Becca Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Turner Wathen, Royce Neely, and Lenny Eckstein.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
What's up, guys?
Hello. So we've got a great show today. So it's going to be fun. Danny sends these texts that I don't even understand. I've been getting them for a long time now, more than a year at least. And I would say that I never thought about it until now. I've noticed he's not begun also taking stuff like this out to Facebook. And he got a warning from George Rose, which is unbelievable to me. Don't you agree, Royce, that George Rose had too
really
much?
Done something when you've disappointed George Rose.
Because his page is a mess. So yes, we as a matter of fact, we hung out with George Rose a little bit recently, and he was telling us that he had to slap Danny down for that, and he's got a warning. So
Got a warning.
Danny, be warned that one more outburst like that on Ask Pappy G, and you are kicked out. So
That's a lifestyle page.
it's a lifestyle page. It is not to be talked about moonshine on there. It's a lifestyle page. Yeah. It's easy to understand. I mean, Pappy G, you should have a lifestyle page and call it Ask Pappy G. And then if you ask him a question, you should be tossed out of that thing, I would say. That makes perfect sense to me. It makes perfect sense.
It could be anything but that.
I'm a moonshine. You asked me about moonshine.
You're gone.
You're gone.
Danny asked a legit question and got his ass reamed and hit with the warning and the post got.
Let's be fair. He did not ask a legit question because it didn't make any sense. There was nothing legit about that question.
It was legit in Danny's world. So yeah, in Danny's world it was. So we're going to be talking about this stuff. But before we get to all that, Becca said there's something she wanted to talk about. What was that, Becca?
I'm getting some texts from my mother. My father is putting up a light right above a stairwell, and he's got this nice little setup here. He's pretty high in the air and just has boards set across. She also sent me this very funny picture of herself saying, "This is me watching him do this." She looks nervous, and it made me think, and I know that probably all of you, I know Steve has done hypothetically done things like this because he fell through a roof.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to hypothetically, if in fact, maybe at some point, but hypothetically, so you never definitely did this, because it'd be an OSHA violation. but what's some of the sketchiest things you guys hypothetically would have done, maybe had you had to do it at your place of work or at home or in your off time, just hypothetically speaking, because we don't want OSHA called on us, but hypothetically, if there's something very not
safety violations that yes,
what would it have been that you did envision. That was like that was maybe should have done that?
Allegedly, I have climbed on top of my cookers before, which is not good. I've also allegedly caught my grandfather on top of said cookers by his fucking self. I walked in there and there he is, 77 years old, on top of a cooker 12 foot in the air, not tied on.
Oh, God.
It's domed on the top and covered in grain, so it's incredibly slick.
Slick, yeah.
So that's good. What other stupid things have I done?
How about bringing stuff back in trucks?
Huh?
Like the cooker in the back of the truck?
Oh, God, yeah. We hauled a 12-foot tall cooker in the back of a Dodge 2500 all the way from Manassas, Virginia once through the snow. And we literally just set it in the bed of the truck and then strapped it to the frame. That way, if it decides to go, it's going to take us in the truck with it. So we did that. Also with my grandfather. What other stupid things have I done?
No, allegedly.
Allegedly done. I'm terrible with forklifts. Like climbing on the forks themselves and lifting myself up into high places, not strapped on. Allegedly,
yeah. Okay. Turner, anything home improvement wise, anything like that where you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that?
I mean, it's I would just keep going back to letting Royce tell stories. Allegedly, frame some metal siding 20 feet up in a lightning storm. Allegedly just really using the wrong equipment for everything. I mean, someone's like, shouldn't you be doing it this way? And you're like, yes, but I'm 15 feet up here and I don't have those tools, so I'm just going to make everything harder. And you're never strapped to anything that's going to save you.
Right.
So I mean, just I think Lenny is going to have some zingers here for us allegedly.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say allegedly. I'm just going to own it. The amount of things that we've done that are sketchy. I mean, the list is so long that I'm kind of having a tough time. But it's so long that anytime we do something, the reference is, well, it's not as sketchy as when we XYZ. I mean, a few things that happened early on, like oftentimes when a distillery takes delivery of new equipment, you'll pay a company to bring said equipment into your distillery. So I received some fermenters that were upright despite my request to have them in cradles down. So we managed to outside lower them, get them into the distillery, and then re-raise them using a bunch of you guys know
pulleys.
We call them NRS straps because the straps that you use to hold kayaks onto your roof, they're just
we've all got those.
Not the ratchet strap ones. They just have like a little cleat that bites on. Yeah. We use those things. We have a kayak shop next door, so we just run over and get a few more 20-footers and hoist it up, and then and it's all fine if something doesn't go wrong. In this case, something did go wrong, and I dropped a 700-gallon fermenter, and it just thundered. It was like, whoa, boom! And it echoed, and we all kind of just sat there and stared for a second. We're like, well, that wasn't good. And then we continued to hoist it back up and put it in place. Brought the second one in, same thing happened again. By the third one, we got it right. More recently, what's it called? Like I guess it's a transformer or something, but something that changes the current on our chiller was on the ground, and we decided we didn't like where it was, so we wanted to lift it up to this mount on the ceiling. Another thing that we did with NRS straps. There were 4 of us trying to move this thing, and the whole time we're watching, thinking, and I think this was the sketchiest thing we ever did. I can't do justice to how sketchy it was, but I remember watching, thinking, like, if this goes wrong, people will get crushed by this thing that weighs no less than 500 pounds. It's going to take someone out. Hopefully not while OSHA's watching. Man, what else? There's so many. Let's see. Early experiments to toasting corn or smoking corn involved using heads and a torch. And there was definitely some fire. Man, lots of stuff. A lot of spills. Oh, this is a good one. I was forklifting a tote full of maybe gin, and as I didn't have forklift extensions, and I'm putting them into a truck. And as I'm doing that, a car came flying up our back alley, which unnerved me and had me hit the brakes on the forklift. And allegedly, this tote may have fallen into the truck and dumped a few hundred gallons of gin into our alley. Ooh. Yeah, it was interesting. There was a guy out there cupping it up in puddles and sipping.
God.
Yeah, it's
homeless person. Yeah,
it smelled great.
Yeah.
Sketchy stuff.
I didn't have a forklift at first. We had a Bobcat with forks on it, and we were unloading our boiler, and it came on top, like the semi, not where it was down and flat, but it was up on the top, over top of the wheels. No extensions. And I went to pick this thing up, and as I moved back, the Bobcat come up on the front two wheels with the boiler. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to destroy it. And had there not been 5 people behind me that then jumped on top of the Bobcat to weigh it back down, I would have destroyed that $30,000 boiler right there. I actually maneuvered around, Lenny, on 2 wheels, teetering.
I mean, yeah, that's the epitome of sketchy, but, such is the life.
Yeah. Becca, you got anything like this?
Oh, I worked in the oil field for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in a rail yard, and literally just working with trains in general, especially if you're not in a class 1 rail yard, is very sketchy because you're just being sketchy. Like, it's always just sketchy. And I also worked in one of the sketchiest sand yards that probably is in existence out in North Dakota. And so we did a lot of very sketchy things, but a few of the sketchy things in my life that just kind of stand out to me. So one of them had nothing to do with that, and it had to do with, I went to a church Bible camp thing that was like an overnight sketchy thing, always doing they're like, literally, youth ministers are very dumb, but fun. They're very fun, but they're kind of stupid. And they had about there's probably a couple hundred of us kids there, but one of them found a piece of metal siding. And it was wintertime, and we were at this lake, and there was a big hill, and this was like a very long piece of metal siding. And they're like, we should have all of the kids sit on this and ride it down the hill, which is like, I mean, yeah, it's very fun, but also like it's metal, and it's not like it's smooth. Like, we could have chopped a kid in half. Like, luckily nothing bad happened there, but like we all went down the hill, and it all worked out fine. When I think back at it, I'm like, that probably could have been bad with the kids. And we were all fine, but I mean, it could have went south. And also later on that weekend, we took a calf sled down the hill, and I don't know how he didn't die. I was completely covered in bruises. Like, we launched it off whatever. Anyways. But church camp, just in general, always was a very sketchy time.
Yes. Sure.
And then moving around rail cars, I don't feel like anyone here has has been around rail cars. But like, the thing with rail cars is, like, when you get hurt around rail cars, like, you don't just go, oh man, I just smacked my hand really hard, that hurt, I hit my elbow. Like, you get chopped in half, or you get crushed between 2 rail cars. And so one of the times we were moving rail cars with a payloader because we didn't have a locomotive to move them. And we were like, oh, there's a hill. We'll just set brakes as we're moving them, and we'll stop it ourselves. And we'll use the payloader to make it so it doesn't go so fast. Well, the chain broke. And so then I was holding onto this rail car, and I'm like, I'm going very, very fast. And I don't know why I'm going fast, but I'm going very fast. And it turned out the chain had broke, and so I was just cruising, and then we smashed into another set of rail cars, which most people don't know this, but rail cars can connect together at a pretty reasonable higher rate of speed without like getting hurt necessarily. But the fact that we were all riding these rail cars and then smashing into other rail cars and no one fell off and got chopped in half was incredible. And that we've got a lot of stories about that. I've been going past other rail cars with just maybe inches was a thing that happened way too often. And then the other thing that it sound like at first when I say it, it doesn't sound bad because I was tied off to a man lift. But I had this man lift maxed out to the point of possibly tipping it over. And then I was also out on top of a grain silo, which we had sand inside of, trying to fix something. And I was not even in the man lift anymore. I just had my feet on the edge of it, laying on the smooth metal. And like this thing is literally about to tip over like the man lift was. And so what I was tied off to should have tipped. And when I got down on the ground, the guys watching all went, "That was really scary." And I was like, yeah, don't ever do that. That was very stupid. Don't do it. Bad idea. I probably could have died there, but it'll be
some serious North Dakota shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like all the time. Like there's like if I started just listing off like all the super sketchy things, I mean, I watched a guy run on top of rail cars while we were switching rail cars instead of like the conductor.
Stuntman now. Yeah.
Instead of just
Works in Hollywood.
riding in the vehicle, he was like, well, it sounded like more fun to run on top of the rail cars while they're moving.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Which
it was actually a guy by the name of Tom Cruise.
way more cool, way more fun, incredibly dangerous, and it was nighttime also. That guy also coincidentally derailed a train very badly while I was in that rail yard at one point.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really sketchy things when you work in the oil industry and in a rail yard itself.
The dumbest thing that I think I was ever involved in, I have to tell this one. I had flipped over a barrel. This is really early on, so we were still doing a bunch of construction. And I kept telling my dad, these idiots you have working for you have got to stop smoking around here. I mean, it was a battle I fought for months. These dipshits, we run essentially an ethanol plant, Dad. You know, tell these morons to stop smoking all over the damn place. I had pushed over a barrel, busted a head out on it, and soaked myself in bourbon. And I was trying to lift said barrel back up. It was new make before I lost the entire barrel, and I was screaming for help. So guess who comes running to help me?
Roger.
And guess what Roger's got in his mouth?
A cigarette.
A cigarette. And I'm soaked in, and I turn. He's like picking up, and I turn around and look, and there it is. And I literally backhanded him, like knocked it completely out of there. Backhanded him. God damn, it pissed me off. But anyway, so I almost lit myself on fire. Well, I was almost lit on fire by an idiot.
By Roger. Yeah.
Roger.
Yeah, that would have been good. All right. Well, very harrowing stuff there. We drink on this show, and that helps us do other crazy stuff. So we'll be drinking. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Lenny. Looks like Lenny's ready to go.
Always ready. I've got a bottle of Russell's Reserve bourbon.
Okay. Pretty good.
Echoing.
That was good. Turner, what do you got?
Doing a little Evan Williams single barrel here.
Okay. Not quite as good as Lenny's. Lenny's got the lead. I've got the Lee W. Sinclair here. This is a Total Wine barrel pick. Total Wine barrel pick. Here we go. Oh, Lenny's still got the lead. Lenny's close to winning this thing. Lovebirds.
Don't bother the Neelys.
Yeah, the Lovebirds. Oh, God.
Well, fuck this up for me.
Yeah, all right. Becca, what do you got?
I've got a bottle of Billy Goat Strut that we got from
Jake
Jake.
Peterson. Sorry, Lenny.
God damn it. That one has a history of loud pops. I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
All right.
Get out of here.
All right. Royce, it's not between you and your wife. What do you got?
I've got a sample bottle of Neely Family Distillery bourbon. I don't even know what this is.
We don't know what it is.
Found it on my desk today.
No, Becca. Becca has it. Cheers, Becca.
Hey, guys.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, it's time for Danny's text. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Bob. I'm in Ohio. You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're going to try to decipher Danny's drunken text.
Yes, we are. So the first one is the one that kind of started it all in terms of going public with this. This is the Facebook post, and I was able to preserve this before it was deleted forever by Pappy G, and an issue of warning to Danny about this. So we do have it. So luckily, and this actually offended Pappy G, which is hard to do. I mean, his page is kind of all over the place, kind of offensive, some of the stuff, but this offended him. So that's interesting. And then we'll get to the text, and the texts are literally, I mean, it can be a Saturday night, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. All of a sudden my phone dings and I'll get these texts that Becca's going to be reading to you. And there's no point of reference. It's not like we've been talking and then there's a weird one in there. It's just, I get these crazy texts. So that's what we're going to do. Becca, your job is to keep it together, to read these as presented, not to fix them in any way. Be like, well, I know he meant to say this here. No, read them what he said, because the audience has to. Yeah,
I will read these how they are.
If the grammar's bad and all that, folks, this is not Becca. This is not me writing this. This is from Danny, the way it's presented. And we're going to try to figure these out. The first one, we have a decent idea what he's talking about. So there's some weird shit in there. We'll talk about that a little bit, and then we'll get into the other ones. What some of these mean.
All right. I recently attended a class of moonshiners, will not disclose named, will not disclose place, but will say I was the one in the full Texas hat and code ordered a still from a certain person who told me this winter just would like a common old school no enzymes recipe that I can build buttle with thanks in advance. But one guy at the class told me I may make the world's worst whiskey, but I will do my best at making the best tasting world's worst whiskey that inspired me. LOL.
LOL.
I mean, this one's pretty obvious what he's talking about.
Yeah, super clear, super obvious.
Very obvious.
Now, I gotta before we get into the obviousness of it. What I assumed that these were like, like text, speech to text dictations, like, "Hey Siri," jumbled it up.
Danny is just a bad typer. So Danny gets lit, and for some reason he just has these things he's got to get off his mind. And I don't know who else he texts besides me, but. And again, the first one, that was a Facebook post. So I was like, oh my God, it's been started onto the world, not just to me. That has to do. And I used to try to get these things explained and be like, Danny, what do you mean? And he wouldn't clarify it at all. And I was like, oh, he's just lit. And so I just, when they come in now, I just ignore them and then just enjoy them though. So, there's a lot here going on in the first one could be a show by itself because everything runs together. Some of the words go together.
Here's the thing what is he asking a question? Because there's not a question. I didn't read a question in there. It just said that he attended a moonshine class and that he's going to try to make, and he ordered a still, and he's going to try to make whiskey with no enzymes.
I think that's the question, but it's not in the form of a question, and it's in the middle of stuff that doesn't apply.
He's asking for a recipe, right?
I think he's looking for a recipe is what he's trying to get here. It doesn't do a good job of conveying that. George Rose had to ban this one.
He's going to try to make it and hope it's not the world's worst whiskey, but he will try.
Somebody told him that what he made will be the world's worst whiskey.
Yeah, it was.
But if you do your best,
one guy at the class told me I may make the world's worst whiskey, but I will do my best at making the best tasting world's worst whiskey that inspired me. LOL.
LOL.
LOL. Yeah, he has a sense of humor about it, even.
But he's also passionate. I like that.
He's inspired.
I misunderstood this to some extent. Well, I misunderstood this to a massive extent. But here's what I did in reading
it. We should all copy and post this on the Pappy G.
Oh God!
Well, I tried to translate it.
Yes.
I don't think it was an accurate translation, and I wouldn't think anybody would mean this, but I can read my take on translation.
All right, let's hear.
Now, I don't really know what to say about this one, so I just picked like one segment and tried my best to translate. So it kind of starts shortly into the first sentence, and I'll read as though I am Danny, I guess. I don't know the guy, so no offense, Danny. ... But I will say, I was the one in the group yawning at the ass hat in a pea coat. Or did I? Still, a certain person who told me this hint. Become like an uncommon old school best time recipe that I can borrow with Yanks and a dance. That's all I could get from it. I don't know what to do with it. That's what I got.
Develop some software there that can translate Danny's speech.
I mean, I stared at it and just thought, like, what is he saying? I think these are the words he's shooting for. That's where we ended up. And I did, they get better, I think.
I know. Well, yeah.
I can't wait to hear more of these translations.
Yeah.
I was the one in the full Texas hat and coat, ordered a still from a certain person who told me this winter just would like a common old school. No.
Danny's also an English teacher, by the way.
Can we clarify that Danny
I forgot to mention Danny's
wife Misty are the best.
Oh yeah. Danny's a great guy. I'm not making fun of Danny. Danny's awesome.
No, these are just hilarious.
The texts are just hilarious.
Let's just be honest. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I had this thing in college. This was terrible thing I went through where I progressed from texting to phone calls.
Ooh, okay.
And then I would get pissed at myself the night of and delete my fucking call log. So I couldn't even call people the next day to apologize for what I'd done because I got mad at myself.
Okay, Ashley McGee. Ashley McGee one time called my brother 37 times in one night.
Well, mine wasn't like that. I'd just call somebody and leave a voicemail.
Yeah, but you called me at midnight the other night just to ask me who runs an account on Instagram.
See, same shit. I'm still doing it.
Yeah, and I answered, and he's like, oh, okay, thanks, and he hangs up. There's no other he just has a question about Instagram, calls me at midnight, I'm sleeping. And,
I'm still doing it, so there you go.
Steve,
Hey, good old...
Steve, you see this shit? Steve, wake up. You see this shit? Look this up right now. Who is this? Well, Royce, this is that person. Well, tell him I told him a sincere fuck you. And Royce hangs up and remember.
All right. Becca, let's the rest are texts. These weren't put out there for the public.
Right.
Like this one. This was all just to me. Again, I'm sitting around, no point of reference. It's not in the middle of a conversation. I haven't pulled this from something bigger. This is just the standalone, the text he sent me. He doesn't even follow up to say, hey, I fucked up and I meant this. It's just this text, and then he's waiting for a response. I guess. I don't even know. But we'll try to figure him out. If we can figure him out, maybe I owe him a response.
I'll say that. So my best friend Ashley, there was this guy who had a crush on her, and he got her phone number from one of her friends, and he'd text her all the time, just these drunk messages, and being like, "I really want to hang out," and they'd be a jumbled mess like these, and then Ashley would text back and say, "Sorry, I blacked out," and that was the only thing she would ever text back to him after his wasted text, that she would just let him know that she was also blacked out. And I mean, that to me, that's sorry, I blacked out. Sorry, I blacked out. Can't hang out. Blacked out.
Now she's married to him.
No. Not me.
No.
Ashley.
Oh,
Ashley's not married. No.
Ashley's not married.
She's single.
All right.
Guys.
So number 2 for drunken message.
Okay.
In the great words of Freddie Mills, bourbon is made to be shared, not saved. Are the Dallas Cowboys in the bottle?
I don't know. I don't know what it means.
great words of Freddie Mills.
The great
Good old Freddie Mills.
as we all talk about Freddie Mills.
And the Dallas Cowboys. Freddie Mills and the Dallas Cowboys are by far my favorite group of bourbon
We've
people.
all been there, folks. We all
Sounds like an off rock band from the 70s. Freddie Mills and the Dallas Cowboys.
When I think the iconoclasts of Kentucky bourbon, like whether they're distillers or whether they, they're the guy that you go on the tour with, like Freddie Mills is number one. He is.
When I think of bourbon,
Hall
the
of
first person I think of is Freddie Mills and the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm gonna start a brand called Freddie Mills.
Freddie Mills.
That's not a bad name.
I feel like he was
Freddie
on.
Mills.
Obviously, Freddie Johnson is, but in the words of Freddie Johnson, bourbon is made to be shared, not saved. But then I don't understand the whole Dallas Cowboys.
Are the Dallas Cowboys in the bottle, though?
They're there.
Did we put the Dallas Cowboys?
I don't know what that means at all.
Well, if bourbon is America's spirit and the Dallas Cowboys are America's team,
Okay,
and
so that's
they were
probably what
less
Danny meant.
good in the 90s.
You just blew my
That's
mind.
what Danny meant. They're America's team. Yeah, they're in the
America's team and
spirit.
America's spirit.
That's what he was basically saying to me there.
Saved our Dallas Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Okay, all right, let's hear yours there, Lenny.
Well, I
Yeah.
got complete transparency. I thought these were all texts from Miss Becca Sue. So I also tried. Sorry. So I also tried to translate to my best knowledge of what she might be trying to
That
say.
makes it funnier.
Yeah. So in the great words of Freddie Mills, bourbon is made to be shared and not saved. Discard the last old crow joys in the bottle. That's what I thought she was trying to say.
It makes it a lot funnier that you thought I sent.
Yeah, he obviously didn't read the whole thing. Yeah, he went. He again didn't read instructions. He just went down to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just called drunk text and figured who's the
Well, it
drunkest.
does say
Who's
Miss.
the
It
drunkest
does
person
look
around?
like they're from me 'cause it says Miss Becca Sue said this.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
her job to read them. Is what, the point there. So
I can only read so much.
no, I feel like Turner figured that one out. So
In the great words of Freddie Mills. What a name.
How did
fucking Freddie Mills.
Fucking Freddie Mills.
I definitely do understand that it's supposed to be Freddie Johnson, but like you said, I don't understand how the Dallas Cowboys.
yeah, in the bottle.
Well, if it's Freddie Johnson, how do you get Mill in there?
I don't know.
I don't know how you make that mistake. I don't know how A to B on that one. I have no idea.
Maybe he was about to say Minnick and then stop saying it. That's why it's Mill. Like Freddie Mill. Bourbon is made to be shared, not saved.
Are the Dallas Cowboys in a bottle?
In the bottle. Or in
In the
the
bottle. Yeah.
Are they in the?
Dallas Cowboys.
Are the Dallas Cowboys in the game? Doesn't
I don't know.
He's watching
the
game.
bottom? Are the big Dallas Cowboys in the bottom? Are they in the? I don't know. Yeah, we don't know. I got nothing.
Okay.
Hey,
That's the best we can do on that one.
Yeah. All right.
but we all know the fucking name Freddie Mills.
Look at these. Yeah, Freddie Mill. We all know
Freddie Mill.
I mean, that's clear as can be. We know Freddie Mill. When you're
Freddie
talking
Mill.
bourbon, you think of Freddie Mill right away.
Always.
I think we should just start calling Danny Kinnaird Freddie Mill.
That's his drunk alter ego is Freddie Mill
That's his drunk alter ego.
and his band, the Dallas Cowboys.
And his band, yeah. Freddie Mill.
All right, let's move on to this third one.
I love this one.
It sounds like there's some drinking and driving involved. I don't know.
Oh, great.
Done around to Camping World in like a St. Louis, then buy an ATM machine, and then I should be home.
It does sound like he's driving.
Like, and let me read this. Let me read this one more time.
I think it's smart because you buy an ATM machine, then you just take the cash out.
Done around.
I've never thought of this. You
World.
buy the ATM machine, it's unlimited cash.
In like it done around to Camping World in like a St. Louis.
A St. Louis.
Then
Not
buy BY or
yeah, buy BUY. He's buying. Yeah.
buy an ATM, buy it, purchase an ATM, and then I should be home. I have to go buy an ATM machine.
It sounds like a
over
pretty
by
dandy
Camping
little Saturday.
World,
It sounds
which
like a
everyone
dandy
knows
Saturday.
campers need cash.
Uh-huh.
So you're gonna make a lot of money off that ATM if you buy it by Camping World.
I
That's what
really
think.
hope
That's what
to
I
God he wasn't driving around. If this was the best he could type. God bless. There's a lot more we should be discussing if that's the case.
I'm sure he had Misty driving him, but usually she's his designated driver. So
That's true.
he was just directing her where to go. He had a list of things to do. He had to go out to Camping World in like a St. Louis, and then he had to buy an ATM machine, and then on to home. I mean, that's it. That's
What do we do with the ATM machine? Is it in his garage or?
Did he steal an ATM machine? By Camping
he bought
World?
it. He bought it. Yeah.
Is there a Camping World
Yeah, there's Camping World. There's
in
Camping World.
a St. Louis?
A St. Louis.
Not B St. Louis, but a St. Louis.
I didn't know there's alternative St. Louis's, but yeah,
Is that
maybe.
the greater St. Louis area? And then
Maybe.
B is
There's a Lake St. Louis in addition to St. Louis. Maybe he was out to Lake St.
Oh.
Louis.
a St. Louis.
Yeah. I don't know. Buy an
In
ATM
like a
machine.
St. Louis.
I wonder how that ATM machine's working out for him.
Yeah, he's probably making bank.
Yeah, he's probably got it like on his porch. His neighbors use it, come by. He probably gets a cut.
We need one, yeah.
We need another distillery, so
He's
Yeah.
taking 3% off everything just to run it. I mean,
he's
let
doing great.
alone any service.
Oh, he's
fees.
killing it with this. This is what funds his bourbon collection right now.
By the way it looks, he needs a large one.
Yeah, yeah. So he's done pretty well with that. I don't know why Camping World got put in there.
Lenny, did you have a
Yeah.
translation on this?
I mean, I did, and it's totally different than what you guys are reading into.
Okay.
I mean, I assumed, again, I didn't know it was Danny. I thought it was Miss Becca. So I thought maybe you were just like writing some rhymes. So to me, this read as like borderline pure hip hop poetry.
Okay.
So I will translate.
Okay.
Can you read it like you're rapping?
No, I can't, but I'll do my best to read it. Megaton sound, cold lamping, word. In like a St. Louis tram, threatened by mayhem dreams, and then I shine like Vendome. That's what I got from it.
All I know is that I want Lenny's phone number so I can drunk text Lenny. So,
Yes.
Because it's like all the translations are, of course that's what it said. I mean, like I give everyone
so
the
if you
benefit of the
read this
doubt.
like a rap, done around to Camping World in like a St. Louis, then buy an ATM machine and then I be home.
Or shine like Vendome. Could have been what you meant.
Which, if
I
you
didn't
break
know.
down
Maybe that's
everything we're talking about,
DJ Freddie Mill and the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys in a bottle.
Hey,
In a bottle.
Mill.
Freddie Mill.
I mean, he's flipping stacks. He had things in the Camping World. He got that in, and he went home.
He's flipping sticks.
Oh God.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's move on to our next
We've
one.
done as much as we could with that one. So let's, what do we got
This
now?
is my favorite.
Our fourth text. I'm going to try to read this because it's only one sentence. There's no periods anywhere, and so these have all been run-on sentences. The grammar is poor. I already have it. I'm offering it to you, Def. No problem. Did not know if you like the price point on it.
Def is
One more time.
capitalized.
I already have it. I'm offering it to you, Def. No problem. Did not know if you like the price point on it. He says, I'm offering it to you, Def, so he cannot hear.
Yeah.
Well, he's texting.
That's the situation.
He's letting me know he's texting me.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just assumed he was speaking to like Siri or something, and it was mistranslating. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think of this one.
I'm offering it to you a deal. I think that's what he was going.
No, I already have it. I'm offering it to you.
He's already got
Definitely not no problem.
Oh, okay.
Did not know if you like the price point on it.
But he did spell deaf like.
Also, if we roll back to Danny being a gangster, what was he offering you, Steve?
Well,
I don't know. There's no offer of anything.
There was no follow-up to this?
This is
standalone.
We go back to the previous communication. He had just picked up his ATM machine. And now he already definitely has it, and he definitely cannot hear you typing him back because it's only text, so he can only communicate through text. He has it. He has not secured a price on said ATM machine, so therefore it's negotiable.
I see this. Hey,
you're right, Turner.
I think when he gets blackout, he becomes Freddie Mill. And Freddie Mill remembers all these things. You know, Freddie Mill goes from one conversation right to the next one. He remembers the last one.
If you read in the great words of Freddie Mill himself,
yes,
is made to be shared, not saved, are the Dallas Cowboys in a bottle, done around to Camping World in like St. Louis, in a St. Louis, then buy an ATM machine, and then I should be home. I already have it.
Maybe it's like a Barbasol ad. Yeah.
Not no problem. Did not know if you like the price point on it.
Freddie Mill's he knows you like money, Akeley.
Yeah.
See a way to get fat stacks. Freddie Mill is.
Freddie Mill.
And you can't hold it together.
We should send this to Eminem, see if he wants this for lyrics. He might be able to use all this.
All right, let's hear what you think I said.
Okay. I already have it.
What I like about this is that there's no problem. So he's happy, and he's not going to be upset with a yes or a no. As long as you don't say it out loud and you can form it through a text form.
I think Freddie Mills is the kind of guy you don't want to piss off.
I think so either. Yeah.
Scary.
He's scary. He's
Lenny.
Like
All right. Again, a little crazy. I thought it was something different than you guys, but here's what I thought he was trying to say. I already have it. I'm offering it to you. Aperitifs. Do you want some? Did you know I'd roll a tight joint in a pinch? That's what I heard.
That's what I'm saying. Lenny is only translating what I would have made sense saying.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I would have said. That's what that meant.
Yeah.
100%.
So that one's pretty clear, I think.
Sure.
This next one pulls Neely in, so I don't know. Maybe you guys will understand this because this is about you.
I'm sorry I haven't told you guys, but I've been doing business with Freddie Mill. Freddie.
All right. I need some advice from a friend. Misty is giving me two options. Put up Woodhead M. You put up Neely. He's definitely in a gang. You put up Neely. I also like Stump hard. Choice to make. Sure, Stump is in. This is gang. This is gang shit. The way he said, I need some advice from a friend.
Yeah, but it sounds like he made the decision himself. But by the end of this, he's going to make the decision.
You put up Woodhead M.
Woodhead.
You put up Neely. I also like Stump hard.
I think Freddie Mill is trying to get the swamp fight together. Now he's got his camera, he's got his ATM, and now he's coordinating the swamp fight.
I think so.
Well, I felt differently about this. I thought this was about relationship advice.
Ooh, if you read it like that, I need some advice.
Misty is giving him options. It's challenging. because he could take Woodhead, which I don't know what that is.
It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound
But
good.
you can also grab Stump, which I don't know if Misty is. I don't know what Stump is. So I don't know if Misty is a dude or if she's missing a limb.
Misty is Freddie Mills' wife. Stump is a buddy of ours that owns a distillery in Illinois.
But if you don't know that and you hear this,
right,
It's
you like Stump hard.
It's a hard choice. Stump's hard.
Yeah.
And obviously he goes for Stump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stump is in. By the end of it, I'm telling you, the decision's
Freddie
been
Mills
made.
chose
Stump is
Stump
in.
over us.
Stump is in.
Stump is in.
Yeah,
Forget Woodhead M. Forget Neely. Stump is in.
Son of a bitch spelled my fucking name wrong.
Woodhead M.
Fucking Freddie Mills spelled my damn name wrong.
Oh, yeah. That's the only thing he spelled wrong in all of this, too.
Well, I think he did that to cover his tracks. I mean, you don't want Freddie Mill with his rap sheet spelling your name correctly.
Lenny, what do you think on this one? You've always got a take on these.
Yeah, well, I agree with Turner. I thought it was kind of more relationship advice driven, but here's what I took from it. I need some advice. Former friend kissed me. She has given me two options. Put up more good head or you put out Neely. I also like Trump. Hard choice to make or endure. Trump for the win. I'm pretty sure that's what he was trying to say.
That makes way more sense if I'm the one saying it.
Yeah.
Turner's about to.
Just every time Lenny translates, it makes so much sense.
Yeah, Lenny knows. We need to get Lenny on this distribution list.
I mean, the question was asked. I had to translate. I put the time in, and that's how it goes.
Makes the most sense.
It does. All right.
Wait till the next one.
One more, Becca. This is it.
All right. And can you new pair of sunglasses and to drinking glasses for me from Justine Wife is ordering now?
I didn't know Justine had a wife. First of all, this is breaking news. This needs to go in
And can you new pair of sunglasses and to drinking glasses for me and from Justine Wife is ordering now?
It sounds, first of all, this is a standalone text. It sounds like something else should have been. Maybe he missed. Maybe I'm only getting the second half of a message here because it sounds like he sent something else, maybe to someone wrong. And then to me, he said, and can you new pair of sunglasses and to drinking glasses for me from Justine Wife is ordering now.
I think this is the one that actually makes the most sense.
Okay. Yes. Humor us.
I think that he's ordering a new pair of our sunglasses and the drinking glasses from Justine, and his wife is ordering now. If I was to decipher exactly what it is supposed to say, they want a pair of the ABV sunglasses and the drinking glasses.
One thing we do know is that Freddie Mills is married. He is still married.
So that's the thing. If we're talking about Freddie Mill, I'm kind of thinking sunglasses is a new re-up on the ATM, and drinking glasses is ready for deliverable. So if Freddie Mills' wife, Justine, is going to order now, he's swinging by the ATM, and she needs to know what type of drop you want.
It's actually so much better that both Lenny and Turner don't know Danny, and so they have no idea any context about this at all, which it literally makes this great. This is great.
Yeah. What do you think, Lenny?
Lenny, let's hear it.
Well, I read this, and I mean, this one didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It seemed very Dr. Seuss meets haiku. And, and like, I mean, as far as I could translate from what Miss Becca Sue might have been trying to say, here's what I came up with. And it makes no sense. And jeez, this one's ridiculous.
He's cracking himself up.
All right, I'm back. And can you Pooh Bear the gun flashes? And big blue drinking glasses. For me, a rule of thumb, my life is skateboarding now. Doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you write that?
I don't know why I said that to Steve. It makes no sense why I said those.
I know.
It makes no sense.
Oh, God.
It's the Freddie Mill and Lenny hour.
Freddie Freddie Mill and Lenny.
These are fantastic.
I'm just here to translate.
I feel like Danny's going to get a job from just writing for like a TV show now or something. Yeah. And maybe Lenny.
True
Maybe.
crime with Freddie Mill.
Yeah. Freddie Mill.
Freddie
No,
Mill's
no, no,
definitely-
no. Gangland with Freddie Mill.
Say Freddie Mill's definitely into some things.
Yeah. So there you go. That's Danny's text. We did the best job we could there, folks. Hopefully you've appreciated that walk down, and I think we were able to get to the bottom of all of them. So by the end of it, all of them made absolute sense. So yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Everyone is very clear on what all these
we
said.
figured it out. So yeah,
Thank God we have this very serious podcast,
Yeah.
bourbon podcast.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Turner, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
So as long as Freddie Mill and the boys don't take me to the F Shack, then I'm at rollingforkrum.com or on Instagram at Rolling Fork Rum.
Rolling Fork Rum review on it's Dallas Cowboys in a bottle.
Yeah, I can translate that for you if you need me to.
This is Dallas Cowboys in a. Let's only say that whenever a bottle's great from now on.
That's Dallas Cowboys in a
Dallas
bottle.
Cowboys in a bottle.
Done. Oh, that's my next single barrel.
Lenny's latest shit was fucking Dallas Cowboys in a bottle.
Done.
How would you explain the notes on this? Honestly, this is Dallas Cowboys in a bottle, man.
96 Dallas
Exactly what I
Cowboys.
thought.
They fucked on the field and in the
Yeah.
somewhere.
Cowboys in a bottle.
All right. Lenny, how about you? Where can people find you?
You can find Deer Hammer Distillery on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Deer Hammer, online deerhammer.com. And you can come out and visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado, where I can help you out with all your speech-to-text translation needs.
All right. Royce, how about you?
You can find me getting a new price quote for an ATM from Freddie Mill. You can find me at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
All right.
Facebook and Instagram, Neely Family Distillery, and on the podcast Distillers Talk with Alan Bishop and Christy Atkinson.
All right. Miss Becca Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Becca Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com, where everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Miss Becca Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I just like to remind the audience to stay away from Freddie Mills, or at least treat him nicely. I'd also like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right. Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Hey, guys.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.